Yo everyone, what's up? This is Trading Hot Games. Pretty cool game. We got Skate on commentary. Design Webber should come here. So,
Yo, what's up?
You ready?
Yeah, I'll be doing most of the commentary here while Welsh focuses on gaming out of his mind with the fast menus and fast decision making. Yeah, I think just maybe one thing to point out real quick before we go is that we are running with an 8-minute offset because we're skipping a super long tutorial, and we're doing the Bulbasaur category because there's 3 different decks you can choose from at the start, and Bulbasaur is an interesting new choice that has come up recently that will allow for some really aggressive gameplay, which is really cool. But yeah, I think we're ready to go. You ready, Welsh?
3, 2, 1, go.
Yep, let's do it. All right, so this is Pokemon Trading Card Game. I will probably talk about the rules later on. Let's just talk about what's going on now. So first of all, we don't start with many energy cards in our deck, and we need energy cards to power up our Pokemon to do attacks. So what we're doing now is we're doing this fancy little deck edit here, and we're just shoving a bunch of energies into like a random deck that we're not going to use to trick the guy on the right here into thinking we don't have many energies, so he gives us some spares. And we do that basically twice to get a handful of energies that we can actually, make it more consistent to get the energies we need for our Pokemon. That was Ronald, that was our rival. We'll see him a couple times in the run. And that was Mitch, who's the fighting club leader, who we have to talk to unlock his 3 little trainers that we have to fight to be able to fight him. And this is the first one right here. This is Jessica. So what's really cool about the Bulbasaur deck is that it comes with 2 of the most powerful cards in the game, or Pokemon, I should say, Hitmonchan and Electabuzz. And we're going straight into a solo Hitmonchan deck. And we're just going to roll through a lot of the early game with this solo Hitmonchan, which may seem really weird because you think you'd want to have like a full team of Pokemon, but it'll make sense as the duels go on now. So this is Jessica. This is the first of the 3 fighting trainers that we have to fight. And so this is how the game works basically. We have an active Pokemon here, and you can have a full bench of 5 Pokemon just like the original games. And yeah, you basically can attach 1 energy per turn, and they have attacks, up to 2 different attacks that they can use to deal damage to the opponent. Now in this case, this is like a perfect fight right here. You just have to reset for it once. You attach 1 fighting energy to Hitmonchan, he does 20 damage. And that Rattata has a weakness to fighting, making it do 40 damage, and it only has 30 HP. And they had nothing on their bench, so it was an instant turn 1 win. So we'll be seeing that a lot in this run, where Welsh is going to determine whether the fight is like too slow to continue, and he's going to try to hunt for these really fast wins like this. So now we have the second fighting club member, Chris, here. And a lot of these early game fights can be tricky. They can be like kind of coin flippy, and you might even see Welsh reset like if he flips tails on whether he starts first or second. And then you also see him kind of shuffling his hand a lot there because he only has 1 Hitmonchan in his deck. So there's like basically like a 1 out of 8 chance he's going to start with a Hitmonchan in his hand. So you may see him shuffling his hand a lot like that until he finally finds that Hitmonchan. Yeah, just a casual 20 mulligans, no big deal. Yeah, this will be an interesting demonstration of the Bulbasaur route compared to Charmander route that has been shown off here before, like Chromagramma said in the chat. Yeah, so basically, the whole kind of point of the routing here is we try to like make decks that counter like certain opponents' weaknesses. So, with Hitmonchan, we're fighting a lot of trainers that have like normal Pokemon, and normal Pokemon tend to have fighting weakness. However, a lot of these early game trainers do have a resistance to fighting as well, like certain Pokemon like Doduo that we managed to avoid with Jessica, and then there's going to be a bunch of other fighting resistant Pokemon that we're trying to avoid, and if we ever see those, it's pretty much an instant soft reset there. As you saw, he just soft resetted there as well. Some of these fighting trainers, it really comes down to making sure they don't have too many bench Pokemon, and ideally you'd want to start first as well, because if they go first, then they can do the same thing to us, where they're the aggressor and they're smacking us for 20 before we get to smack them for 20, and that's not going to end well for us. So okay, this looks like a lot of a better start here. Hopefully I don't bench anything. This Kangaskhan has a lot of HP. But if we manage to have a plus power, which Okay, it's a little annoying, but it doesn't matter. Do we have a plus power? We do not have a plus power. So plus power is a really important item in this game. It's an item that basically allows you to augment your damage by 10 after weakness is done. Now the Bulbasaur deck, the advantage of it is that you actually start with 2 plus powers in your starting deck rather than just 1. You also have access to a defender, which is also nice for, you know, fixing damage so that you take less damage. Unfortunately, they started benching a lot, but I think this could be fine.
Yeah, you took my darling. Never mind.
Oh, no. Yeah, Chris is kind of being a pain. This can definitely happen. This is not really something that Welsh can control. There are certain things he can, like, the thing that's kind of interesting with the coin flipping is that it's, like, sort of manipulatable in that, like, you can have trainer cards of your own or other similar cards that, like, search your deck to, like, shuffle the RNG. So if you see that, you know, you got a Tails off of a Pokeball, you can be like, oh, I'm just going to reset the game now and then give that Tails to the opponent so that they whiff on their whatever attack they use as a coin. So you'll see a lot of that in this run as well. Alright, is this the one? Is this the battle where we finally defeat Chris? Okay, taking 20. I didn't actually see what was on the bench there. Okay, we have Kangaskhan again. That gets one shot if you have a plus power. Oh, there you go, right? Just like the top of the deck. Very nice. All skill. And there you go. And then they pretty much give up, and we finally got a good Chris. Very, very good draw there.
Why you can't rate it.
Yeah.
It's always like that. It'll be like 3 minutes or 3 seconds.
Yeah. And so you'll see at the end of every fight as well, we get 2 packs of the pack of their choosing. So them, it's Evolution. But we're going to be prioritizing all of the Coliseum packs because the Coliseum packs are just so good. They're like way overpowered compared to the other packs in the game. And then not only that, they have a bias towards the type of trainer they are. So if we fight this guy, Michael, he's going to give us Coliseum packs. And the RNG is going to be in the favor of fighting Pokemon getting pulled out of the rares, or all of the cards, really. So we really want to see like a Dugtrio pull off this guy, because Dugtrio is one of the most broken cards in the speedrun. So that would be really great. But this is Michael. This is the 3rd of the fighting trainers. Okay, this is a decent start, only a Mankey, pretty weak Pokemon, but he does have a Hitmonchan in the back and now a Magmar. So yeah, these trainers kind of have the same strategy in mind. They're all really aggressive, so we're trying to be more aggressive than they are, and we defeat them before they defeat us. Luckily, they've been powering the Hitmonlee, which doesn't really do much, so they completely wasted their 2 energies there, and that's something that we kind of hope for from the AI. The AI doesn't play super optimally compared to a human, so we kind of make use of that as much as we can. They did play a Defender there, which is a little bit annoying. Yeah, that Defender kind of ruined that fight. So we're gonna try that again.
Yeah, I have to wait.
Yeah, the early game is just brutal, and that's why all these like fights are. Not only are they early for getting the Coliseum packs, they're early because they're tough fights. So, you know, it's very often that runs kind of reset this early on just because of, you know, all these early game trainers being really annoying. Okay. So now we have a Hitmonchan versus Hitmonchan battle again. They hit us first, but we have access to Special Punch first, so we 2-shot them, whereas they 3-shot us. So that looks good. I don't know what's on their bench, though. Hitmonlee. Okay, so I think we're fine. Unless... yeah, I think he had a Defender. You can maybe... Oh, I think you could have saved that one.
I Defender?
I think I saw it. Maybe I'm seeing things, but it's okay. Okay, here we go. Going first, they only have a Hitmonchan. Okay, if we don't win this, I'd be shocked. But yeah, the thing that's crazy about this run is that, like, not only do you have to go, like, you have to go fast, right? Obviously, it's a speed run, but, like, you have a lot of cards in your hand, you have a lot of factors to think about, and so there's a lot of on-the-fly thinking Yeah, Chronogram puts it best there. It's kind of like speed chess, really. Like, imagine, or even like bullet chess or whatever it's called, where like you have like a 1 minute timer in your game to make moves. That's kind of how it feels like playing this game. So it's very, you know, possible that you overlook like one line of play that you could have done to win the game or whatever. But you know, you can only do so much. You can only go so fast. Okay, I think we're finally out of here. No. Okay, no, you got one. Yeah, you're good. Okay. Wait.
That is just the pottery.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right, we're all done with fighting.
Alright, yeah, the fighting trainers are done. Okay, hopefully we get a Doug trio for our troubles here. Gyarados, nope. Well, you got a backup Hitmonchan if you want. That could be nice for safety, I guess, but Welsh tends to lean on the side of not safety. He wants to go fast, he wants to go pedal to the metal. Alright, so now we're gonna start taking on the grass trainers. So this is Kristen. She's not too bad. Lickitung is probably the most annoying Pokemon, and we don't see that yet, I think. Yeah, this should be a pretty straightforward fight here. They just have a bunch of squishy 40 HP Mons, and we just knock them out like that. Very nice fight after the nonsense that was the fighting trainers. So Kristen gives an evolution, 2 evolution packs. There's not that much in this pack. There's like Gust of Wind, which is pretty nice. Pretty strong card that allows you to bring out one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active. So if you see they're powering up something nasty in the back, you can get it out and deal with it right away, which is a really powerful swing turn. And now we got Heather, and she also does give Coliseum packs, and she's pretty easy as well. She has some slight annoying Pokemon like, you know, Eevee tail wagging, and if they tail wag heads, you basically like lose your turn unless you can switch out your Pokemon or evolve or something. But yeah, there is a lot to remember for sure. Now luckily, like again, like a lot of these trainers have these like normal type Pokemon, so Hitmonchan really capitalizes off of those, as you can see right there with the Porygon. And let's see what we get out of these Coliseum packs. Snorlax. Oh, my favorite green bug that Welsh is gonna purposely not use. That pains me to see. But yeah, Scyther is a really strong Pokemon as well. Also has resistance to fighting, which we're probably gonna see shortly in a few fights. But now we're off to the Lightning Club. So you can see here... Actually, let's talk about Jennifer first. Jennifer has an all-out Pikachu deck. And there's only one Pikachu that we are afraid of, and that is Flying Pikachu. Everybody hates Flying Pikachu. That thing also resists fighting. So basically, the max that Hitmonchan can do to that Pikachu is 10 at a time, because the Special Punch only does 40, and resistance is minus 30. So we just want to avoid that Flying Pikachu at all costs. So far, so good. Okay, that's Surfing. Surfing is fine.
I think we win.
Yeah, I think we're good. Alright, very good. Nice stuff. Yeah, Jennifer can be really scary, especially with that Flying Pikachu. Alright. So they're going to drop another new pack, Mystery Packs. These have a few interesting cards in it as well, like Double Colorless Energy is going to be useful later on. There's Mysterious Fossil, Energy Removals, I believe, as well. So yeah. Now we're off to Brandon. They also have a fighting resistant Pokemon that we do not want to see, and that is good old Zappy Bird Zapdos, but that's not going to be a problem, because we have another one-turn win. Nice. Very good. So Brandon also gives Coliseum packs, as well as his other friend to the left. Let's see if we get some good pulls out of these. Oh, there's his Zapdos, yeah. Like I said, the packs are biased towards their type, so these are Lightning Club trainers, and they gave us a Zapdos. That does check out. Alright, now we have Nicholas here. He doesn't have this resistance problem, so he's not too bad, honestly. He's definitely one of the easier ones, but things can go south. He can also bench a lot. He has a lot of basic Pokemon he can use. He can also paralyze you with Magnemite, I think. But yeah, but this just goes to show that this run is like, it's very interesting because it's very similar to the main series games in that there's 8 gyms, there's an Elite Four, you know, you're playing Pokemon. But the difference is that this game is like completely open world, which, I mean, now that is kind of a thing in recent Pokemon games. But back then, this was kind of a wild concept. Being able to just run around at any gym you want almost and fight any trainer you want. So it allows you to customize a route to your liking in, you know, whatever way you prefer. There's no real, like, optimal route. It's kind of, like, up to preference and what you feel most comfortable with risking. So we did a little bit of a deck edit here to have a better deck against our first club master here. This is Isaac. He's a lightning club master, and again, we're going to be making use of that fighting weakness that basically everybody has on his team. And we're just going to plow on through. Now, you can actually fight this guy with Diglett Dugtrio as well, because the nice thing about Dugtrio is that it's resistant to lightning, so it kind of makes the fight extremely trivial. But Hitmonchan really does the job too. It's like definitely a lot faster to clock in the damage, and you'll see this could very well pay off right here. They have only one Pokemon left after this Kangaskhan, so this could be a very fast fight. Who's the last Pokemon? Another Kangaskhan. Yep, that could be it if they don't bench anything. Yeah, you need... Yeah. Oh, that's annoying. Alright, Isaac is just delaying the inevitable. This game is totally ours, but he's just kind of trolling us here, trying his best to hold on. Oh, I think I have a full heal. We're fine here. Yeah, so there's the Paralyze I was talking about. Paralyze basically makes you not attack for a turn or really do anything for a turn, but if you have a full heal, it's an item that gets rid of that status, or any status really. So awesome. There's our first club master down out of 8. And now we're off to probably the most annoying trainer in the game. We're saving this for later because we can make our deck a bit more consistent for it. It still kind of ends up being a coin flip. Oh wait, no, we're going to Jean first. I thought you were going to Amanda next, sorry.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, I guess we'll have to do that after. No big deal. But yeah, we're gonna go
this way.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to Jean now, and is choosing not to use the Scyther, which is hurting me inside. But they're using Nidorino here, who will get the job done as well, and they're definitely a lot more aggressive version of the Scyther. You can get going with the damage a lot sooner. As you can see right there, see, like with just one grass energy, Nidoran can hit for 30, but you have to flip heads. All right, this might just be over right here. Oh,
I reset for no reason.
Yeah, okay. Just a habit. Yeah, Jean's down in just 2 turns, just like that. I will say that is the power of Nidoran, when you can kind of just YOLO and go for a good frame like that. I mean, that definitely helps a ton. So there's another club master down. Yeah, get wrecked by a little Nidoran. So again, as you can see, we're really capitalizing on the weaknesses here. And now, after 2 club masters are down, we're actually going to face our rival Ronald, the legendary Ronald that we saw earlier for just like 2 seconds. And we're going to swap to a Magnemite deck for this, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, Gina's so annoying, so Nidoran sweep is fantastic. Yeah, for sure. Here he comes, the Ronald boy. Who will win? Magnemite or Ronald's wild pack of like 3 different types of color energy Pokemon? Here comes Cubone. Cubone's crying. And we can't attack as Cubone resists lightning. But we're just gonna hit him with a self-destruct. Take that, Ronald. But wait.
What's going on?
Yeah. Oh no. Why didn't you bench another Pokemon, Welsh? Oh. Okay, well, it's fine. Losing is actually totally fine here. We don't have to beat Ronald at all. The only real advantage to beating Ronald is he gives you like a promo after, and we do not need that promo at all. So, another trend in Pokemon games, you can lose to your rival and just move on. So now we're gonna go fight Amanda, the actual trainer I was talking about earlier. It's a bit of a problem. So Amanda's kind of the one trainer in the game where it's like no matter what weakness you try to target, they have like a counter to the weakness. So you just kind of have to hope that your Pokemon lines up with theirs nicely, because they have a Scyther that resists fighting, And they have these water Pokemon that beat your fire Pokemon. And the fire Pokemon beats the Scyther. And it's just like a whole, like, you just have to really hope things line up. So unfortunately here, this doesn't line up super well, but Charmander can still defeat Poliwag here. Ember hits for 30, but you have to discard a fire energy. And now here's Scyther, which is also super great. As long as we have a fire energy to power this up, which I think we do. Looking good. Oh, but they swapped to the Ammonite, though. They're playing it safe. They're hiding their green bug in the back. And I think they might have just benched another one, too.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So as long as this Charmander holds on like a trooper for just a few turns, we can win this with just a Charmander. Yeah, Scyther, no swiping. Okay, they're just playing like bench swapping, like they're just musical chairsing over there. Oh, and that's a win. Okay, that plus power saved the day. Very cool. We didn't even fight a Scyther with our Charmander. We just kind of fought everything else. But hey, whatever works. That was... Yeah, they tried. They definitely tried. All right. Well, definitely that was definitely one of the more annoying trainers, maybe the most annoying early game trainer. So it's nice to see that getting done quickly. All right. So now we're gonna take a pit stop here to the science gym because this one guy here, Joseph, is blocking the way to Rick. And so we're actually going to go ahead and swap to a proper lightning deck here with Electabuzz. And we have 2 Electabuzz, which is actually kind of nice. That definitely makes things a lot more safe for these upcoming fights that we're going to be using here. And as you can probably tell, we're going to be using Electabuzz to capitalize on lightning weakness. So Joseph, while he's not a Water Club trainer, he does have a lot of bird Pokemon, and so these Spearows and Pidgeys and stuff like that are going to get easily handled by this Electabuzz, who's basically a lightning Hitmonchan. He's just super powerful. He's got 70 HP. His first attack only hits for 10, but 20 for weakness, but has a chance of paralyzing, which can save you a lot. And the second attack hits for 30, and if you flip heads, you do 40 to them. If you flip tails, you do 10 to yourself. So... flipping heads with Electabuzz definitely can go a long way for certain Pokemon, but for the most part, even just the 30 times 2 is enough to get through a lot of things here. And as you can probably tell, if you flip a lot of tails and start damaging yourself, that's where things can get a little dicey, but luckily Welsh does have a backup Electabuzz, so even if that does happen, I think we should be fine for the most part in these Water Club fights. So yeah, this goes to show like the benefit of going the Bulbasaur route here is we can really capitalize on both these 2 Haymaker Pokemon that are just really strong, and as long as they survive, you can really plow through a lot of fights. So here's Sarah. She's a very easy fight for the most part. This Farfetch can be really silly and do a lot of damage, but luckily they flip tails. Energy removal, this is another card I guess we haven't really talked about much, but energy removal is a really powerful card in this game as well. You basically just choose an energy on your opponent's side of the field, and you just completely eliminate it. So if they're trying to power up to their big attack, you can just say, nope, you're not doing that, you're going to lose a turn, and I'm going to beat you before you even do that. So that's definitely something that will help a lot in making these fights more consistent. And there we go. That is Sarah down. And interesting enough, Sarah's the only fight in the game that's a 2-prize fight. I guess we haven't really talked about prizes, but basically, to win the game, you either have to knock out all of their Pokemon, or you have to win all your prizes, and you get a prize by knocking out one of their Pokemon. So most fights tend to be 4 prizes, but for some reason, Sarah is 2, and Amanda is 3, for example. So yeah, and when you win a prize, you basically get that card into your hand. So sometimes you kind of hope you pull a good card out of your prizes when you're a bit of a pinch. But yeah, here's Joshua. Definitely a bit more difficult than Sarah. This Horsey can be really annoying, but luckily they're not attaching to Horsey. But they are being annoying with energy removal, which is kind of funny. But Horsey has this smokescreen attack where if they use that attack, you have to flip heads to hit them, so it's kind of like Sand Attack in the old games. I guess Smokescreen does the same thing too. It's an annoying like evasion attack. Yeah, energy removal, especially when you hit Double Colorless. Yeah, there's a special energy card in the game called Double Colorless where it gives you 2 colorless energy for just 1 card, which is really strong in certain decks that we'll actually see Welsh use later on. But yeah, Josh was kind of being annoying here with their shoulders and horsies, saying like, hey, I flip heads, you don't do damage, you flip tails, you don't do damage. But finally getting through here.
I'd have to walk like things will be unexpected, I think, as well.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, Articuno. Another card that Welsh will probably not use, but can be a really good option for certain fights. So we're gonna, yeah, we got a lot of mystery packs recently, so why not just shove in a full playset of energy removals? That's really good. Haven't really talked about the specific trainers too much outside of like plus power defender removal and stuff like that. There's a lot of draw cards as well, like Professor Oak lets you discard your whole hand and draw 7. That is a really powerful effect too, when your hand is just filled with useless cards and you just really need to find that one like plus power or full heal or evolution or something. Really comes in handy there. Yeah, Bill, it just draws you 2. It's literally just Pot of Greed, which is pretty great. But yeah, Amy's deck is really just like Joshua's deck, but better, I guess. Like, she has Squirtle, and she can evolve up to Blastoise randomly if she feels like it, I guess. Oh, she got a Seeking there as well. Okay, that's neat. Yeah, she's kind of benching a lot, so I think Welsh is going to reset that because it's going to get a little out of hand.
Looks a bit hairy.
Yeah, getting a little scary for sure. But yeah, this game is super great. It's a very very cool game from the time, honestly. Like being able to play the trading card game and get all the cards you want. You know, back then, like people were saying in the chat, it's a lot harder to get cards back then. It was kind of all the craze back in the late 90s, 2000s, and all that. So having this option with a banger soundtrack to boot, very cool game. Meanwhile, Welsh is just destroying Amy now. Buzz is just destroying everything. Oh, here comes War Turtle. Okay, and they flip tails. Good. I think that's just game, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Okay.
I would just
Cool.
back
Yeah,
up,
just in case.
just in case you flip tails, maybe.
Yeah. Alright, and that's 3 Club Masters down. And that's it for the Buzz deck. We have fought all the trainers that we can capitalize off with the Lightning weakness. And now we're going to switch to a whole nother type. We're going to swap to a Psychic deck. And we're going to take a pit stop back to the Grass Club to beat the last Grass Club member, Brittany here. So we're going to swap to an Abracadabra deck. Another 4/4 line here. Yeah, Kadabra is pretty interesting. I mean, they hit for 50 for 3 energy. That can really come in clutch. And your little Abra can be a little weak. It's only 30 HP. It does hit for 10 still for 1 energy, and you can paralyze as well. So that can also save you in a pinch. But Brittany's deck is kind of wild. Her deck is basically just a rainbow pile of cards. So we're just kind of hoping that our Abra lines up nicely with whatever they end up benching. So we kind of just hope they bench no more than one thing and just kind of clean up real quick with Abracadabra. There's a lot of different strategies you can use for Brittany as well. You can just rock up with a fire deck, which I think does pretty nicely as well. But Kadabra definitely can do the job too, especially once you're evolved into Kadabra. It's pretty much smooth sailing unless they have some crazy Pokemon powered up in the back. Yeah, this is looking like a win for sure. Yeah, the card art in this game is really crazy too. Yeah, there is a really good video by Delta Seeker on YouTube talking about the art. They did a really good job with just 4 colors in their color palette. And yeah, I've been personally really into that myself as someone who's working on a ROM hack, but that's not important right now. What important right now is the speedrun here. And we're gonna go get another club medal here from Rick. So Rick is the Science Club Master, which is kind of weird because that's not a type in the game or any of the games really, the card game or the video game, but it's basically just a mishmash of like psychic types and poison types. And this game poison is depicted by grass types. And then they have like Porygon 2 is I guess kind of scientific-ish. It's a polygon. I don't know. But yeah, so you have these Mewtwo's that Kadabra can hit for weakness, and it's definitely pretty important that we don't get bodied by this Mewtwo before we can body them with Kadabra. But it's looking pretty good here. Kadabra can just one-shot these Mewtwo's, can also one-shot these Poison types because they're also weak to Psychic. So this is looking pretty good. These Grimers can be annoying though, as you can see, they did paralyze us here. Fortunately, no full heal, so we'll just have to wait a turn there and just hope they finally flip tails. Another important thing to mention as well with the statuses is that you can actually get out of statuses by evolving your Pokemon too. So if they ever paralyze the Abra and you manage to evolve Kadabra on top of it, you can also heal status that way, which can come in really clutch. And you'll see in some fights where you can like purposely choose to not evolve because you're safe, and then as soon as they paralyze you or do any sort of status, then you can evolve and then just carry on with the game plan. But yeah, this is looking pretty okay. They still have 3 bench, which is a little scary. But we got a lot of potions, so should probably be fine here. And now you see Welsh there. He used Gust of Wind effectively there to take care of a threat in that Mewtwo in the back. So that's very nice play from him there. Gonna play a defender here also to be safe, so you don't take too much damage from anything randomly. This Porygon is a little bit annoying, so we're kind of gusting away from that Porygon. It's not really a threat, it's just more of like a time loss, a time waster basically. He has these conversion abilities that like change your weakness or change its resistance, so it tends to stay in psychic resistance, and so you have to use a plus power here to one-shot it. But yeah, not the cleanest rig fight, but at least it's a win, and that's all that really matters here. And there we go, just like that, we're already halfway done the 8 clubs here. The gyms, as they were. And yeah, these laboratory packs is the last type of pack you can get, but they're pretty much useless. There's really not much you can get out of those. I guess you can get like, I think you get Pokemon Trader from that, which can be nice. But other than that, there's really not that much going on in there. Alright, and we're going to still use our Psychic deck, and we're going to make our way over to Mitch here. Mitch has a bunch of fighting Pokemon who are also all weak to Psychic. Now this can be very scary. As you can see, Mitch went first there and just slapped us for 20 with his Machop. But luckily we have a potion to kind of mitigate that, so I think we're looking okay here. Yeah, Abra's really squishy, and like he could have lost turn 1 there because I believe Mitch does play plus powers, so that would have been pretty rough, but luckily that's not the case. No paralyze, that's unfortunate. So we're just gonna have to... Oh, okay, I see you swap to the backup Abra. Yeah, that's another thing you could do too. You can kind of send out another like Pokemon from your bench kind of as like a meat shield. And so that's what he did there. Pretty smart move. And yeah, then we're gonna just swap back to our Kadabra and just go for the sweep here and just one-shot everything. I got a defender there to be extra safe as well, because I mean we don't resist fighting, so we can still get slapped by Hitmonchans and Machops here and there, so we gotta play it safe still. Kadabra does actually have a second attack called Recover. I think you have to discard an energy and you can heal all of your damage on him. You kind of don't want to do that, but sometimes it does come down to it and you have to use that to save your run. But yeah, I think Kadabra's just hitting the win button, as we call it. Just use the attack that just one-shots everything. And there we go. That is Mitch down.
Yeah. We're 3 fights off the dough, I think.
Yeah. Pretty much. So now we have 5 medals down, and yeah, like Chromogram has said in chat, more Ronald incoming. We're gonna fight Ronald again, and guess what? We also don't have to win this one, so Magnemite, get back in here. We're gonna hit the self-destruct button turn 2 as long as they don't, you know, remove our energy or status us or whatever, which can happen sometimes. It's very rare, but it can happen. Yeah, get your Ronalds out here. The legendary Ronald. Here, I'll even type it in the chat. I'll join in. Yeah, his music is really great too. Unfortunately, you don't get to hear it very long because Magnemite goes boom in like 20 seconds.
I think he might actually kill me.
Yeah, that's even better if if they could just win instead of you having to do self-destruct, but that's fine.
I would have self-destruct, sorry.
Plus power for the swag. Nice. Alright. It's the gleam of light behind him that makes it second coming of Jesus. Yeah. Alright, bye Ronald. We'll see you again. And we'll actually fight you for real later on. Meanwhile, we have to go over to Ishihara's house here randomly. Nikki is just hiding in here and you have to go get her after you defeat all the 3 Grass Club members. And yeah, we're pretty much done with the random club member fights to unlock being able to fight the club members. And now it's just going to be a full-on club member sweep for the rest of the game. So we're going to swap to a fire deck here to take care of Nikki, the grass club member. And this is basically makes the fight extremely trivial with a fire deck. She has a whole suite of grass attackers, and they're all weak to fire. And Welsh elects to choose the pony deck, Ponyta, Rapidash, who can be pretty fast. You can attack turn 1 with a double colorless for 20 damage, so you can just snipe these Bulbasaurs out of nowhere. Otherwise, you can attach 2 fire energy, and you can hit for 30, which effectively is 60, which also kind of one-shots a lot of things. The only thing you really have to worry about here are like the evolutions, like the big evolutions, like Exeggutor can kind of get out of hand. Obviously, you don't want to see Venusaur. That thing's a big tank. Yeah, Pony deck, very strong. We're only going to be using it for this one fight, but that's all you really need it for. Yeah, we're just boiling some eggs, burning some plants. Everything is just getting roasted by this Ponyta. We don't even need Rapidash. Ponyta gets the job done. Didn't even take a scratch there. Very nice. Nikki. Yeah, Vileplume's another one too. That could be pretty nasty. Alright, so that's 6 down. 2 more to go. The last 2 can be pretty annoying. These 2, even though we're saving them for last, despite how strong our deck can be really rough. I don't think... We didn't pull any Dugtrios, right?
We did not. So.
Okay, so that's very unfortunate. So Dugtrio, pretty much the GOAT Pokemon in the speedrun, and we kind of were hoping that we'd pull at least one other one to be safe. Now that we only have one Dugtrio, things can get really messy. It'd be harder to find that Dugtrio, which is basically our win condition for like almost the rest of the game. So we kind of have to rely on like Pokeballs and our draw cards to find it, and hope that it, isn't randomly in our prizes, which will happen like 10% of the time when there's only one in our deck. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen. So yeah, Ken is the Fire Club member, and alongside... Oh wait, sorry, this is Murray. I'm so used to doing Ken first. This is Murray, sorry. Murray, this is the Psychic Club member. Their deck is really annoying. Probably one of the more annoying decks in the game. They have these huge tanks. And then they also have this really annoying Pokemon called Mr. Mime. And Mr. Mime, while they're weak, they're only 40 HP. They have a special Pokemon power that makes them not be able to get hit by anything that is more than 20 damage. So you have to do no more than 20 damage at a time. So that's why we're using Hitmonchan in this deck, because it can just hit for 20 to 2-shot this thing instead of having to, poke it with Hitmonchan, or not Hitmonchan, with Diglett for 10 damage at a time, which is really slow. So luckily we have the backup Hitmonchan here, so that's not going to be a problem. So we can take care of this Mr. Mime, and we have removal to take care of the backup Abra before it gets out of hand with Kadabra shenanigans. Our Hitmonchan is weak to Psychic, so that's definitely something that's a little annoying, but he's really only there to deal with Mr. Mime. We go back to our Diglett, and we just sweep with the Diglett, and luckily, because of these normal type Pokemon, we can hit these things for weakness, but... Oh, computer search. We're not gonna go for the Dugtrio?
Not just yet.
Okay, yeah, in case of...
There's one more Mime right there, so...
Oh, yeah, that's true. There is still another Mime, so we gotta play that save. Oh. Bringing out the Hitmonchan and paralyzing us, okay. Playing it safe with the removals here again. This Abra might take down this Hitmonchan. Okay, we got a Tails. So we're gonna defeat an Abra with a special punch here, despite having a weakness to Psychic.
Alright, he killed his Hitmonchan.
Yeah, that's okay. Hitmonchan did his job. Just hope another Mime doesn't come out. But I think we're gonna be okay here. Yeah, that's game. Alright, a bit of a rough Murray, but got through. Again, that's all that matters in this game. Alright, one last medal to go. Okay, now we got Ken, who's the Fire Club Master. His deck is kind of similar-ish to Murray's, just no mime to deal with. He has these fat normal tanks that he tends to scoop up. There's an item called Scoop Up that basically just lets you pick up one of your Pokemon and put it back in your hand, and while that does sound kind of counterintuitive, it's actually really annoying when you do that on a high HP Pokemon that you already damaged, like, for like half their damage, like 60 damage of a Chansey, and they're just like, oh, I'm gonna scoop it back up and put it back on my bench, and I basically just healed it for 60, which is way better than Potion in this game that only heals for 20. So they're starting off with a Jigglypuff here, and we could just one-shot this thing, so pretty good start there. But yeah, they have these Growliths that can turn into an Arcanine. That could definitely get out of hand, so hopefully it doesn't come to that. We're digging for the Doug Trio here. Got Pokeball. Oh, that's a Tails. But see, we could just reset. We could just say, we could see what the result is and then just peace out, and we could just save that Pokeball for later after like more coins have been flipped or more RNG has been shuffled, and we can try to search it later. Alright, we got the comp search. Oh, and we got the 10%er. Doug Trio is stuck in our prizes, so we gotta go fish for that Diglett or Doug Trio. Yeah, Scoop Up will. This is not gonna be the last you'll see of Scoop Up either. Oh, there's a Tauros. That Tauros does hit pretty hard. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. Okay, so Welsh right now is basically resetting the duel until he finds where the Doug Trio is in his prizes. Which is pretty funny. But now this Tauros, if they flip heads... Oh, no. Wait, can you... No, I guess you can't save that, can you? Oh, I guess you can Pokeball? Oh, Defender. Okay, no, you're fine. There you go. Okay. We have a route. We can win this still. What's funny is you don't even need the Doug Trio here if they don't bench anything. Yeah, you could just one-shot with this Doug Trio now. Alright, Diglett, I mean, not Doug Trio. Alright, who needs that Doug Trio anyway? Yeah, the card pop strats, and almost erasing the save file strats there with New Game. Alright, it's okay. Ken's down, all the Club Masters are down. We are ready to take on the Elite Four. I mean the 8 Grandmaster, or the 4 Grandmasters. The Pokemon Dome. The killer of all runs. The Dome is... it's brutal. No, we're not going to the Fighting Club. We're going to the Dome. Alright. Mysterious voice. Who is this mysterious voice? Alright, so first Grandmaster, Dome Grandmaster is Courtney. She is a fire type trainer, and so we're going to be using a water deck here. I blinked and missed which Pokemon. Are you using Dugong, I guess?
We're using Gyarados.
Oh, Gyarados. Okay. We're doing some swag Gyarados. Oh, don't forget to take out the Fighting Mons. You have Fighting Mons in your deck.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, okay. Alright. There we go. Let's actually have some useful water energies in the deck. Okay. So yeah, basically Welsh's go-to is if he has enough Dugongs, we'll just use Dugong, which is kind of like Water Kadabra. It hits for 50 for 3 energy, which is really good. Basically one-shots everything except for the legendary birds. But we don't have enough Dugongs, so we're going to opt for Gyarados, which can be a little risky because Magikarp also only has 30 HP. So as long as we can hold with that 30 HP Magikarp and then evolve it to a huge Gyarados, we'll be fine. We also have Articuno that he could have used, but he's choosing not to because Gyarados is more swag. Yeah, rooting for the sub-hour. I actually forgot to start my timer, so I don't even know what time we're at right now, but that's okay. Alright, what do we got here, Courtney? Got a Growlithe with no energy, okay. Oh, thank you, Dave. Clutch, coming in clutch here, and that's with the offset too, so... We're gonna kind of need a really insane dome to get sub 1 hour with the real timing, but we'll definitely get well under the sub 105 without offset estimates, so... Alright, Alright, we got Magmar here. He also has a smokescreen attack, which can be annoying, but we have Gyarados, and we can just ignore that, right? Or no, do we still get affected by smokescreen? I don't think we do, right?
Oh, we don't.
Yeah, we don't, yeah. There's like some attacks where, like Chansey has Scrunch, and it doesn't matter if you evolve, you still have to flip, you still won't be able to do damage. But evolving does negate smokescreen, though, which is nice. So there we go. Take care of Magmar. Yeah, thank goodness for that. Alright, now I got Moltres here. So unfortunately, these legendary birds, while they are fire type, or this Moltres is fire type, they are not weak to their respective like weakness. So they just have no weakness. So we just have to kind of, you know, do the regular 50 damage, but it still two-shots it, which does the job. And now we have this massive 100 HP Gyarados and just destroying everyone here. This Moltres has a scary attack. They can attack for 3 energy, and if they flip heads, they do 70 damage, which Gyarados is still a boss and would tank that anyway. This Magmar hits for 30 for 2 energy, and they could also hit for 50 with 3 energy and discarding one. But I don't think that's going to be an issue. Oh, that Ninetales can be annoying. That Ninetales... Okay, we got Gust. Alright, we're good. We don't have to worry about this Ninetales. They have an attack that basically flips 8 coins, which is just a massive time waste. And they can do 80 damage if they flip all heads, which, I mean, basically never happens, but it could. Yeah, Gyarados doing the job. Let's go Gyarados. And that's it for the water deck. We're not going to be using water deck anymore. It is all Dugtrio the GOAT from here. And unfortunately, again, we only have one Dugtrio, so this definitely makes the dome a lot less consistent, especially when it's stuck in our prizes like it was with Ken. So let's just hope for the best that we avoid that 10% chance for the next 4 fights. Luckily, we can save the game and just reset whenever that happens or anything happens. Now, Steve, really annoying enemy here. He's got a Zapdos. And a Zapdos, when he puts it into play, will do 30 damage to anything on the field, even his own Pokemon. So if this hits Diglett, okay, which it didn't, we're fine. But there's a lot on his bench, so I guess we're just going to reset that.
Yeah, I had no path to...
Yeah, no. So. Yeah, that's true.
Always looking.
Yeah, we might see a lot of resets here until we have a way to get to Dugtrio. We have Computer Search, luckily. We have a lot of draw cards. But Dugtrio is pretty pivotal in... this run kind of popping off for the rest of the dome. Luckily, Diglett can take care of a lot of these smaller things like Voltorb. Okay, so there's another Zap. Oh, yeah. Zapdos doing his Peal of Thunder again. Let's see if we can shuffle the RNG and change that. But yeah, that power is just such a powerful ability. Just being able to do 30 to anything, especially when Diglett only has 30 HP, is very annoying. But we got the Dugtrio. We got the GOAT himself. So now this Dugtrio just hits super hard. It hits for 70 for 4 energy, and even though these Zapdos do resist fighting, we're still hitting for 40, which is a lot of damage. Otherwise, it one-shots basically everything else on Steve's team. Yeah, so we're going to be playing it safe here with removals.
I was looking for a plus power, but...
to get rid of the... Yeah. Doesn't this guy have a crazy attack? Yeah, you might want to removal that guy. Or Defender, either one. Yeah. Yeah, this Zapdos can hit for like 100, but then he hits himself for damage or something. Or discard energies. It's not good, so we're gonna have to deal with that. But, Zapdos is eliminated. And now we just have more Zapdos. It's gonna be a long fight, but this looks like it'll probably be a win. Yeah, thankfully, again, our Dugtrio does resist lightning, so that helps a lot, goes a long way. And yeah, the power can hit the Zapdos power can hit even his own Pokemon, so the fact that it hit Diglett like twice there is pretty unlucky. Oh, there's another one, because why not? Jeez, Steve. Rude. Yeah, we're just gonna have to... Yeah, just gonna have to power through another Zapdos.
He's gone.
Yeah, finally. 2 more Pokemon. Oh, please. Okay, that doesn't matter. Yeah, Yeah, slash away, just win button the rest of the fight. Defender, sure, why not? Please don't paralyze. Oh my god. They're just trying every way to make this slow. Oh, we have the switch. Okay, we're good. So another way of getting rid of status is also just switching your active Pokemon to get the status off of it. So he just benched a backup Diglett and then switched to the other Diglett. And that Diglett has free retreat, which is like a cost to... You have to discard energies to retreat, but Diglett has free retreat, so you just retreat back to your Dugtrio and you're good. The status is gone. Alright, now Jack, another annoying Dome Grandmaster here. So their bird of choice is obviously Articuno. Theirs, when that comes into play, if they flip heads, they paralyze your Pokemon, which can be a little annoying, but at least it doesn't one-shot your Diglett like Zapdos does. The other annoying thing about Jack is he's got these Chanseys, and he's got a bunch of Scoop-Ups. So if you damage this Chansey too much, he'll just scoop it back up and waste your whole time there, basically. So what Welsh is going to be doing here is the AJ strat, named after a runner in the community, where you poke down the Chansey twice to do 20 damage, 20 damage, so it hits him just in range so that Dugtrio Slash can one-shot it after without them scooping it up, because once they get to like 60 HP, that's the threshold where they're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to scoop this up. So that's a way of playing around their AI. Unfortunately, after doing the AJ, he swaps to Articuno, which is a little annoying, so he can't just do that right away, but at least it's in the back for later. And we're going to try to take care of this Articuno before he gets out of hand. Its first attack is a 3 water energy attack that can do 30 damage and paralyze, so luckily we've damaged it enough and they've given up attaching it to this Articuno, so they're going elsewhere. Oh, they're going to a backup Articuno. That could be a little scary. We do have a removal though, so that definitely helps a little bit here. Oh, here's the quick freeze Articuno. Oh, and they flip tails. Okay, so he dodged that. But they paralyzed with their attack instead, so unfortunate. But we do have a lot of potions. We also have full heal and defender, so I think we're gonna be barely fine here. Earthquake 2-shots this. That's only gonna hit for 10, but that's another paralysis. So what do we have to work with here? Yeah, oh, that's unfortunate. We gotta restart that fight. The paralysis is just too strong. Unfortunate. Oh, we go again. That's the Dome for you. This is it's a brutal final onslaught of trainers. Especially like Steve and Jack especially are like kind of big run killers. The last fight as well can get messy. Courtney and the next opponent usually are fine. So yeah, once we get past Jack, it'll be a little bit more smooth sailing. Alright, I have this Ditto here for some reason. I don't know why Jack plays this Ditto, but can deal with that very easily. And we got Dugtrio again. Luckily, this one Dugtrio isn't hindering us too much. This Lapras, unfortunately, is just out of range of Earthquake, so we need plus power to one-shot it. And of course, they go for the Confuse attack. We have full heal for that, though, luckily. Confusion, basically, if you flip tails when you try to attack or try to retreat, you take 20 damage, I believe it is, in this game. So, luckily we're able to avoid that, and have the plus power too, so that's really clutch. The Steel only has 1 water energy before they become a Dugong, so that's also not going to be a threat. We can just win button this too. We have this Lapras though, so we gotta be a little bit careful. Lapras's first attack does 10 damage plus 10 for every other water energy attached to them, so they only hit for 10 initially. So we're gonna plus power and deal with that as well. We got a potion, but we might be able to just win button the rest of this fight. Yeah, we 2-shot this, but what's in the back? Oh, we got Lapras. Oh, we have the potion. Yep. There we go. Welsh is playing really well here. And now it should be good to go. I guess they can still 2-shot you. Oh, this could also happen. Okay. No commentator's curse, please. Oh, Gust. Oh, there we go. Clutch Gust to just KO something that's not Lapras, and we're out of this annoying fight. Yeah, another Clutch plus power draw. That's been happening a lot, and that's, again, a nice upside of Bulbasaur deck run, is that you do start with an extra plus power, so definitely comes in a lot of opportunities. Yeah, Gust of Win, like Tora Knight said, another runner of this game. Definitely agree with that. Alright, now we got Rod, who's basically a Lance wannabe. He just has a bunch of dragon-ish Pokemon in his deck, so he's got Charizard, he's got Gyarados, and he's got Dragonite. Luckily, like, most of the Pokemon he starts with isn't that much of a threat to Diglett. They all kind of just attack for, like, 10 damage here and there. The Charmander can get out of hand with Ember, I guess. So we're gonna restart that fight because they just had a lot of Pokemon there. And we're gonna do that again, because Kangaskhan, big guy, 2 bench as well. We're gonna try to find a cheeky quick win with Rod, which does happen pretty often, honestly. Like, you can definitely get a lot of 1-minute splits on Rod. But yeah, he's just not cooperating either somehow, despite him being one of the easier trainers here.
I've been nipping in my hands at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
This might work though.
Yeah, this looks okay. Alright, he's attaching elsewhere. So we're gonna go ahead and removal on the Charmander so that they can't just one-shot us. Actually, wait, no, Rod doesn't play Fire Energies, does he?
No, he does not.
Yeah, I'm inventing things as we speak right now. He can't even Ember, so basically they all just hit for 10. My bad.
He's very much like a check damage trainer. Like,
yeah. Yeah, luckily there is a very handy website made by Clear Tonic that lists every person's deck list and a bunch of other interesting stats about the opponents, and booster pack rarities and chances of getting cards. So shoutouts to that. It's cleartonic.net/TCG. Yeah, I clearly need that website because I totally forgot he doesn't use fire. It's Ronald that uses the fire energies.
Yeah, it's Ronald.
Yeah. Bad Dugtrio. Meanwhile, Dugtrio just sweeping everybody as is the usual. Yeah, spoiler alert, we are going to be finally fighting Ronald proper, the champion, of course. Legendary Ronald, and we have to win this time, so no more Magnemite shenanigans. That'd be pretty funny, though, if you can just self-destruct your way to the credits. Alright. Hopefully, we get this Dugtrio. And yeah, this fight can definitely suck, too, because guess what? He has all 4 promos in the same deck. So he has the Articuno, he has the Zapdos, he has the Moltres, and he has the Dragonite, all in the same deck. So he can do the same thing as Steve, and just slam down that Zapdos and one-shot your Diglett, and it's not fun. Luckily, that hasn't happened yet. He also has Scoop Ups in his deck, so he can just pick up the birds and then replay the bird and do it again. I had a run recently where he Zapdos Scoop Up like 3 times and killed me eventually. It was not pretty. But yeah, we're kind of chilling here with this Diglett, and we're just removaling and just trying to play it safe and hope that we can find our Dugtrio eventually, which again is going to be a bit of a struggle with only 1 in our deck. Now we have this Articuno we have to deal with. Diglett unfortunately cannot touch this thing unless you use plus power, so we're gonna Gust away and deal with other Pokemon instead. So we're gonna plus power and wreck the Dratini in 1 shot. Articuno's back, of course. The EVs can be a little annoying too, because again they have that tail wag attack, or if they flip heads, you basically just can't hit them. But we got the Dugtrio! There he is, in the flesh. Alright, I think we should be good now, hopefully. Knock on wood. So we may have to deal with these birds, which is a little slow, but I think we'll be... Oh, they have no more birds left, so... Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and removal some of the potential threats in the back. Like, Dragonair can happen, and they can flip 2 heads and hit for 60 randomly, so always something you have to keep in mind. But I think we got a win button sweep here. Yeah, there we go. That is it.
It's to look. About 3 seconds.
Very nice. Alright, take that, Legendary Ronald. And so time is coming up. It's gonna be after we get all the promos and the screen changes to white before the credits play. So we'll let you know when that is. It's basically after the Dragonite. And so we get all the promos ourselves, but we don't get to use them, unfortunately. But you can use this broken Zapdos in like New Game Plus if you wanted to. Yeah, you get a fanfare chime for each card too. You won 4 times.
And time in
And time. Nice run, dude.
Commentated skate, and it's really good.
Yeah. What was the final time? I don't even see the time. Let's see here. It was a 106.52 with the offset. So, not bad. That is a sub 1 without the offset.
2 shoutouts. I got Pinecode606 for being amazing. We got Tarnight, who's in chat, and Franksy Games. So check them out, they're really good. And thanks to Skate for commentating for me.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm glad I was able to just talk forever while you focus on playing well. Yeah, I think Bulbasaur is a cool demonstration of an alternate route you can choose to play in this game. Lots of different categories you can do. You can even run Squirtle if you want. Frankie loves playing the Squirtle deck. You can do that too if you want. So yeah, we have a Discord as well, of course. We'd be happy to welcome you into playing this fun little game in any way you like.
Yeah, thank you all, and thanks for having me, David chat.
GG.